Hey, this is Rob Brown, Freedom on Fire. How you doing today? As the GOP work hard to pass their tax bill, that crappy tax bill, that's gonna be a biggest fat juicy kiss to the wealthy and to the corporate interests, and a foot in the behind to the lower middle class, including the millennials, students, working class making under $50,000 a year, and the elderly. Who are the real winners and losers in this tax bill? Well, I'm going to go over that in a second. All right, the winners on the tax bill. Donald Trump, he promised a big, beautiful tax cut by Christmas. It's the centerpiece of his Meganomics agenda. Looks like he'll get it, at least by early 2018, as both the House and Senate, because they're in the majority, have passed the major hurdles of passing the bill. So Donald Trump benefits from it. Big corporations benefit from it. American largest corporations are about to get the biggest tax cut they ever had. Both the House and the Senate slashed the tax corporation rate 35% to 20%. Now, does this mean that it's going to bring jobs back to the United States? If he would have put up here that if you come back to the United States, will you give you a tax cut, then that's a different thing. Really profitable companies like Apple and Microsoft also get a bring back the pile of cash that they have sitting offshore. So if this is putting them in a position where they can take that money offshore and bring it here, that's fine. But the point is they're going to get a tax cut once it comes back here. So I guess the tax cut coming back here make it easy because they're not paying any taxes at all because their money is overseas. Now I can kind of see where that is going. But you got to make sure that you still pull some taxes on those companies. 35% to 20%. While fewer companies actually pay 35%, the average is around 25%. Most still get a break. Really profitable companies like Apple and Microsoft also get to bring back their pile of cash they have sitting in offshore accounts in the United States at a very low tax rate, currently just 10% in the Senate bill. So they're trying to use this tax bill to try to get people to take their money from overseas and bring it back here and gonna give them a 10% tax cut. Who else wins in this? People with money in the stock market. How many of you got money in the stock market? That's what I thought. So you're not going to win if you don't have money in the stock market. Who else? Many in the middle class, for at least for a while. Republicans have sold the tax plan as a boost to middle class paychecks. According to the Nonpartisan Joint Committee of Taxation, 80% of Americans earning $50,000 to $75,000 would get a sizable reduction in their taxes by 2019. How many of you on this show make $50,000 to $70,000 a year? That's what I thought. Most of you don't, including me. So you're not going to benefit from this tax bill. Who else? Senator Mitch McConnell. He did it on taxes. The Senate Majority Leader took a huge blow over the summer with the Affordable Care Act failed. Trump appearing to give him the cold shoulder for a while, but McConnell is the man of the hour now. He managed to rally GOP senators to deliver the biggest priority of all, tax cut. It turned out to be a surprisingly difficult task, but he got it done. Who else? Senator Pat Toomey, a Pennsylvania senator who's one of the main authors of the Senate sucky tax bill, and he defended it vigorously on the floor of the United States Senate. As a Democrat, after Democrats slammed the bill, Toomey calmly stood up and sold the bill as a way to make Americans' company more competitive and profitable so they'll invest more in the United States and hire more workers, hopefully raising wages as well. Who else benefit? Rich kids. How many of you are rich? How many of you got rich kids? How many of you are a rich kid? None of you? Then this don't benefit you. The GOP tax bill make it a lot easier for wealthy parents to pass property and money to their kids. Under current law, up to $5.5 million can be passed down tax-free. After that, there are 40% tax, known as the estate tax or the death tax by the critics. The House bill eliminated the state tax entirely. The Senate bill will allow parents to pass up to $11 million onto their heirs tax-free. Who else this may win out of this? The Dreamers. Thanks to Jennifer, Jeff Flake says he is voting for the tax bill despite his concerns about what it would do to the national debt, because GOP leaders promised him that they will pass legislation soon to allow dreamers, young people in the country without documentation who have gone to school in the United States and followed the law, to stay in. Who are the losers? Senate Democrats, filibustering. Democrats panned the bill as a tax scam that gives away to tons of wealthy and corporations, but they're not able to stop the bill. Senator Bob Corker, Republican from Tennessee, he made a brave last stand Thursday night to try to force Republicans to change the bill so it wouldn't add so much to the deficit. He was upset to learn that even after accounting for the economic growth, the bill still expected to cost $1 trillion. He's being a true deficit hawk. The rest of them are lying. They're not deficit hawks. People who care about the debt, they tend to lose. For years, many Republicans have railed against Americans' growing debt that ballooned under President George W. Bush and President Barack Obama because of wars, tax cuts, and the Great Recession. The total debt is now $20 trillion. About $15 trillion is actually held by the public. The tax bill is likely to add at least $1 trillion more, according to the Joint Committee of Taxation. The 13 million Americans who won't have health insurance, it's going to affect you. The Senate bill isn't just a tax bill. It also includes the repeal of the individual mandate that requires all Americans to buy health insurance or else pay a penalty. The provision is not in the House bill, so it might not make it to the president's desk, but if it does, it is expected to cause a spike in health insurance premiums in the United States and 13 million Americans to drop insurance coverage in the next decade because they can't afford it, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Who else is going to lose in this? The poor. The Senate bill cut tax cuts rates across all income levels, but 44% of Americans 44% of Americans don't pay any federal tax, so it doesn't help them at all. Some senators, notably Mark Rubio and Mike Lee, pushed to give more money back to lower income families in the form of a refundable tax credit. Thank you, Rubio. But Rubio and Lee wanted to make a lot of the child tax credit refundable, but that didn't happen, meaning the poor won't get much benefit from the bill. If anything, they might lose a lot. Some won't be able to afford health insurance anymore, and some are likely to lose their government benefits as Republicans look ways for trimming the federal budget in the coming months. So the poor people tend to lose. So Mark Rubio didn't grab his balls and took a good stand on that. Puerto Rico, they're going to lose. Of course, they're going to lose. The island that was devastated by Hurricane Maria this fall now might lose some of the few big businesses that remain on the island if the GOP tax bill get enacted. The reason is that Puerto Rico would no longer look so advantageous as a place to do business compared to the rest of the United States. Puerto Rico's governor is trying to push for the island to be deemed a free trade zone, but that doesn't look likely. Who else? Harvard. The House and Senate bills create a new 1.4% tax on private college endowments worth over $250,000 per student. Only a handful of universities have such large endowments. Most are Ivy League schools like Harvard. So Harvard is going to lose. College students is going to lose from this bill. The House bill scrapped many popular deductions from college. Students and college grads with student loans. The House bill eliminates the popular student loan debt write-off, and it forces graduate students who receive tuition waivers, sometimes as much as $20,000 or more, to count that money as income for tax purposes, even though they don't actually receive the money in their pocket. It will be a big hit, and many universities are saying it could heavily dissuade graduate studies. The Senate bill does not make these changes. So it's not going to help college students at all. And this is why we need to move to something where college should not be something you have to worry about out of your pocket. It should be a right in America. Who else is going to hurt? It's going to hurt the elderly and elderly with high medical expenses. Now, this is disgusting. You're intentionally hurting. Not bad enough you're trying to take their health care away from them. Come on, guys. The House bill gets rid of the deduction for huge medical expenses, which 8.8 million Americans, mostly elderly, currently use. The Senate keeps this deduction in place, setting up a major conflict to be worked out. So to make a long story short, this tax bill is the crippling of the American working force. Most of the people in America don't make $50,000 to $70,000. They barely make $40,000. And with there being a huge fight on increasing the minimum wage, they're not going to make that for a long time. The average person working in a suburb makes $45,000 to $50,000 or below. Metropolitan areas, you can find some people who work different jobs making $40,000 to $50,000. But the bottom line is, if you're not making $50,000 a year, it's going to hurt you. Elderly people, if you consistently going to get medical treatment, their tax bill is going. You're not going to be able to write it off as much as you used to be. Marco Rubio tried to do the right thing, but he cowed out when he wanted to extend or at least add to the child tax credit. He punked out. So you got a few Republicans that attempted to do the right thing and attempted to pull their vote away from it, but they punked out. Only one person that's going to stand tried and true, and it's not for your particular benefit. It's to keep their stance of being deficit hawks. It wasn't to help you. So this tax bill is horrible. And, let's say it does get passed. I'm going to talk to you Democrats. I'm going to talk to you independents. I'm going to talk to everybody. It comes to a time where we're going to have to take our party hats off. Democrats, I'm letting you know, we're not going to be trying to enter your party and vote for your candidate to try to stop Trump. We're going to be trying to look for the candidate that's going to stop these people. Who are these people? It's not just Republicans. Some of them are Democrats. And yes, it's the president. Those who are trying to, on purpose, cripple the middle class and catapult the wealthy and the elite and the corporate interests. And we're not gonna. We're coming together as one, outside of party, and we're going to be voting on people individually. And if you're not going opposite of things like that and be consistent in it and really being led by the people in your decision, if you're not got that kind of person, if we got a second guess, you're not going to get our support about anything. But if you're in the fight with us, and I'm telling you, people, we got to fight. We got to fight today against this stuff right here, these tax bills. Even if it get passed, we still need to fight to push back against it. We need to fight against net neutrality, and we need to come up with some kind of plan or some kind of policy that you cannot make any vote or any decision unless first it goes through the overwhelming support of the American people. If it's about 60%, then you can vote on it. In other words, leave it alone. The people are going to find this way to take the power back from our government leaders. Our power right now is putting these idiots in office. And they getting in office and building themselves a career, not building anything for you. Our power right now is to put them in office. We have the power right now to say, hey, if you're going to vote overwhelmingly against the will of the people, you're going to be gone. I don't care who is your opposing enemy. We're not going to vote for him either. We don't want neither one of you. And we will protest our vote. We're not going to be voting for foolishness. Now, I'm not going to get into this. That's another subject. But people, how long is you going to keep taking this? They could care less about you. They're pushing this bill. They haven't had the town hall. They haven't sat with anybody. They haven't done anything. And could care less about your concerning this bill. They're right now making the bill up as they go along and trying to get the vote. And then you got some people who are trying to do the right thing, but yet they're carrying out. And I'm telling every Democrat, anybody running against this tax bill, you got to use this to beat them upside the head in 2018. And not to show how the Democratic is the dominant party, how you as an individual representing your constituents as an individual, forget the party, how you going to stand up and fight against this no matter who and what person does this in politics. What party, who they are, their name, I don't care. You as an individual. I stand alone as an individual running for office who is a man of the people who's going to work strictly for the people to push back against a mess like that. I'm telling you, if you're this type of person, you have a chance in politics. If you're not, if you're in office right now, your chances to leave the office is going to be very short. Anyway, I'm Robert Brown, Freedom on Fire. I'll talk to you soon. Look, guys, come on. Time to fight back. Forget these freaking petitions. Petitions ain't going to do anything. Sign them. Go out and march. Make sure you have a plan after the march. But it's time to push back. Your power is in your vote. Stop voting for who is the I need to find out who's the lesser of two evils, who the better of the two. Poop is poop. One dried out, one's fresh, soft, and stink. It's still poop. Stop voting for poop, man. Anyway, I'm done.
Hey, this is your boy Bob TV with Freedom on Fire and Rob Report. I want to thank you for watching the webcast. Make sure you share these segments all across your social media network. Like and share, subscribe, and maybe invite a couple other people to do the same thing. You make the difference. I also want to thank you for those who support this channel through Patreon, whether it's 50 cents to $50 million. It goes right back into what we do here. So like the lights that you're looking at right now, that's because of something that you did. So I really appreciate it. I want to thank my man Vegimatic for the Blue Yeti mic, one of the top microphones out right now. He knew I needed the mic, so he blessed me with it. So all of you guys make the difference into this channel growing, and I really want to appreciate you for that. Also, by all means, again, continue to share your comments at the bottom of each video. Just don't get so visceral to the people who may disagree with me or may disagree with you. This calling out name stuff, that's not for this channel. So please try not to call people names, personal names. Now you can call some of the stuff they talk about crap. I say that, but just don't attack people personally. Words really hurt when you start attacking people personally, because these people really believe these things, and you're not gonna take away their belief by calling them names. So please don't do that on this channel. But nevertheless, I appreciate you guys. We're shooting for 2,000 now, so I need your help. So as my pastor would say, reach one, teach one. I mean, let's reach out. You got the information. Make sure you share with other people and try to get them to subscribe to the channel so we can grow and expand. I'm Bob TV. Freedom on Fire. Rob Report. Peace.